In today's video, I'm going to be creating a perennial shade garden in this container. To fit a container on top of here, it had to be 17 by 17 at the most and about 8 inches in height. To locate a container of this height is extremely difficult. In today's video, I want to give a big shout out to Little Baja because they are partnering with me in providing this beautiful container that was not for sale to help me create this garden. If you've never been to Little Baja, they are a Mexican tile, terracotta, and chimenea company that is filled with beautiful, colorful terracotta containers. They have regular terracotta containers and they have a huge variety of chimeneas. This is where I purchased my chimenea a few years ago. So if you haven't seen my video with my chimenea, I will link it up here and I'll meet you there. But I want to give a big thank you to Little Baja. I will put all the information in the description down below. They are located in the southeast part of Portland, so if you're in the area, please stop by there because I'm sure that there's something there that you can find for your garden. Now, this terracotta container is going to go on top of my bird cage over here, and then I'm going to be placing all these wonderful plants along with a couple of other ones. But this is a lady's fern, this is a chocolate Persian Lysimachia, and then a Flamethrower Coleus. Along with those plants, I'm going to be adding some Creeping Charlie. Creeping Charlie is a great ground cover. It's great in hanging baskets as well as in containers, and I just love the way it cascades down, and I think it's going to add a lot more punch to this 3 plants up here. Then I pulled out a little hosta that the chickens were kind of trampling all over. That's over by my corbels. So it's a little pathetic, but it will do fine. But this one here, I believe, is a Patriot. And I just love the white leaf color on this. And this will get about 12 inches by 12 inches. Now that's going to be compacting this, but it's going to be beautiful because I'm also going to be adding a drip in here, which I already have partly set up, and I will show you how I'm going to do that. Now, I already mixed all of my soil over here, and it has vermiculite, perlite, worm casting, and also a little tiny bit of bone meal because I ran out of it, and this mixture. My soil is the right consistency. It is moist, but not wet. I'm not getting any water out of that soil when I'm squeezing. When you add already moist soil into your containers and then add your plants, that will give your plants a jump start, and also make sure that your plants are hydrated before you also put them in there, because that's going to also give them a jump start on getting those roots established. So I need to take these out, put this there, pull this out, and then start planting. Once it's set up here, it's going to be a permanent situation. So I'm going to place this up there first. Because I kinked my hose, I'm going to add a little bit more hose to it. And I'm just going to use a straight pin. So now I'm going to place it through the container, and that's where it will sit, kind of in the center. Most ceramic shops sell these little sponges, or you can create a round sponge of some sort. Poke a hole through it. Add your drip hose or your irrigation hose and feed it through. This will prevent the dirt from falling through. It'll also retain some moisture for your plants, and it'll prevent it from dripping further down below. So to retain some of that water, this is a great idea for any container. Now I'm only going to add so much soil in here, and then I'm going to start placing my plants. I'm just freeing a lot of the roots from all that soil, because it's going to have new soil. So now I'm going to dip it in water. This way it's nice and moist, so that it gives it a jump start and gets those roots already starting to adapt to moisture and get established in their new home. And it doesn't have to be a long dip, just enough that they get moist. I'm going to set this and position that one. Now I'm starting off with the largest plant and build from there. And I'm going to position my irrigation hose right dead center. So before I go any further, I want to show you what type of spacing I am using for this, because things are going to grow and you want to allow space for root growth. So I'm going to show you how I did it before I add my hosta, because my hosta is, even though it's tiny, it's going to get at 12 inches in diameter, so it's going to fill in this front part. So do you see how I spaced these? I gave plenty of room between my Lysimachia. I gave plenty of room back here, also allowing enough space between the ivy. And then now I will place the hosta right here. I also dip that in water. So now I'm going to add my soaker hose to the irrigation line, and then the other end I'm going to close it off and put a zip tie. That'll hold the water from spilling out. That'll keep it really nice and tight. Now I could use this to stake it down. May just even do that. So to hold the soaker hose down, I'm going to be just using some garden staples. So I added it to the front of my hosta, because the hosta doesn't, it likes moisture but doesn't want to be oversaturated. Everything else requires a little bit more moisture. So I kind of tucked it underneath my Lysimachia over here. I don't know how well you'll see that. So I tucked it underneath there, went through, and I tucked it in between, took it all the way around to the back, underneath, and then I just dug the end right down here. So that should be plenty of water. Now, one thing I want to mention about grouping plants, especially when you're doing a shade garden container, is that you want to group your plants basically that are paired really nicely together. Annuals here in the Pacific Northwest will weather through and continue to grow season after season with the proper care. I know that my geraniums overwinter very well. Mums overwinter very well. Not sure about Coreospis because this is the first time using Coreospis, so we'll see what the winter brings for that plant. But if it kills it, it's just easy to pop that out, because I allowed that spacing, and pop something else in there that probably is more suitable for this group of plants. But even that being said, Coreospis still like even moisture as far as the soil. So these are all very well paired together. So hopefully that'll give you a tip on how to create a shade garden. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna allow this to get out of its slumber and then show you the end results at the very end. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification button so you catch me on all my videos. And most of all, you guys, thank you so much for your love and support and for being here today. Mwah! Love you. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Days without water along the sun-soaked road. We crossed over borders to get where we are, and it's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you.